Yeah, I'm just like anybody else. Just like anybody else, I want to what give people what they probably a lot of people would give anybody else. You want to give them a chance, or you don't want to be cruel to people. So obviously, there's people here that are um, Muslim, and if they're not radical or anything, I don't know what they're practicing their religion. All I know is I've been given a lot of shit, and I've heard a lot of bullshit about a religion that I believe in, which is Pentecost Christianity. So, um, and that is, you could think it was traditional if you want, but how I look at it is the Jesus, the guy who they take as a prophet, who I find is a prophet, but they think I believe him as a Messiah. He changed the name of the game from us being at a kind of a wars in kind of radical state of being to where you would want to be more diplomatic, maybe, especially with your own people, your own subjects, if you want to call them subjects and not citizens. Um, so you really don't want to like offend people, even if you had complete authority over people. Um, so I do that. I would do that differently than Democrats, um, in particular. Um, I would try to gain their trust a more decent way. Maybe something that I would be coming from myself, like how you would judge somebody to yourself or what you're doing. I would not hope I would be telling somebody to do something that I wouldn't be willing to do my own self. So, do they take kindness as a sign for weakness? Are they told that? Because it's like if you go and investigate what uh, their Quran, their book, Bible, Quran thing or whatever um, tells them to do, aside from like say ours Christians Bible, you can compare a little bit to that. So, I guess the terrorists would be more like your radical Christians or people like from different places in the world I, that they think that they have to be radical for some reason. They're like hell bent on blowing people up or being terrorists. So it's not that I don't understand that there are Muslims just trying to be peaceful or whatever, but you'd have to look at that a little bit um, thoroughly and see, what when they were peaceful, why they were peaceful, um, and if there is some like modern style to some of them, but they're not the ones who I'm talking about. Anyways, I don't necessarily mean the ones that are already here. I just mean the ones that have been. Now we had another terrorist attack in Brussels. There, and the news is saying there's more to come. So whose fault is that? Is that George Bush's fault? You guys are really gonna say that that is George Bush's fault when basically, um, the the country was stable and there was no ISIS when Bush was in there. There was Al Qaeda and there was the other one, the Taliban. And from what I recall and remember, they were almost decimated. So they gave a lot of probably Muslim, Arabic people that they're probably Muslim. I don't probably the thing you should tell Muslims is well, you usually don't like try to. or extract people's religion out of them. That's what makes America America. We don't usually talk about that. We're just Americans, and you have the right to do whatever you want. But if you're going to come and pound me with a religion, that's against the law, actually. Um, you have the right to practice it, but not a right to thump me over the head with it. So um, I just want to know here uh, something simple. The ones that have been taking it as a sign of weakness, they look at us all as a target. So they're infiltrating these refugees and these other people. Um, and now, since the Democrats got in there, you think that that's smart by saying that George Bush uh, caused Iraq to be destabilized there when it was basically stabilized there, and Obama pulled us out of there, and that was a radical uh, fascist, like terrorist act against America, against us to do that without having the job finished, and it was a obviously a demonstration showing um, Muslims in bad faith that he doesn't really give a shit. Well, what you want, you're gonna be stuck in your terrorist world over there. You're not gonna have democracy. All these people over here that have democracy, they should shut the fuck up. A lot of them, these Democrats, but they have a right to say whatever they want. They live in a democracy. Do you think people in Iraq have the right to say whatever the fuck they want on a given fucking day? Yeah, we're talking about people are gonna go and vote for another fucking Democrat again or something like that. Or if they go and vote for Trump, they're talking about how Trump was against the war in Iraq. And I'm telling you, when Trump becomes president, hopefully, right? He's gonna have to come and explain to all you knuckleheads why Iraq was necessary, and he's gonna have to fucking say like, all right, fucking sit down. All right, this is gonna take a minute. That's how fucking if I was Trump or anybody, that's how I can think of how I would act if I had to sit down with all of you people and explain to you, go back to 9/11 and all this other stuff, and then we'll go back to um, it was February February 20 something, um, 1993 was the first um, time that these terrorists attacked the World Trade Towers, and they did it with a truck bomb, is what they used. And the same people that did that did it again, and they flew airplanes into it. They were the masterminds of it. And one of the guys, the top guys that did not get caught, fled to Iraq. The Iraqis said in the Wikipedia that basically the Iraqis got him. Well, now that our military is not there, and we don't have a place to do business like that, and have another democratic ally, basically, um, they're like back to their fundamentalist, radical, terrorist plots and regimes again. Now they're set up to infiltrate all of our countries, and whatever bomb that they had, that's from them, the Democrats, being that careless and letting these guys come into all these different countries. You know, they took over Germany. I mean, they're gonna destroy Germany. I mean, I don't know how much Germany deserves that from having like sins of their fathers or whatever from um, you say World War II, what they did to the Jews or whatnot. Um, but they're having their country being infiltrated by people who um, basically kind of not really a roundabout, but directly have a tie to Nazism, tied to Nazis. Um, they be one like race that's not like white, they're not white, but that would line up with the Nazi movement. Because why? Because they hate Jews. And I don't mean all Muslims. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean the terrorists in these countries like Iran and Iraq, Saddam, and all them. They hate our allies. So I'd have to go back and I'd have to sit down with a bunch of these knuckleheads and explain to them, you know, why the war was necessary, and then still not even be sure if you were able to explain it the right way in the right words that George Bush wasn't wrong, his intel was correct, he was right, and that voting for a socialist is not gonna solve the problem. He's gonna beat around the bush until um, we all die, we all get killed or kicked out of our own country. We have to flee for our lives. Um, so, uh, I don't know how you can take somebody in your country, and show them compassion and um, hos- hospitability, be hospitable to them, and then it not be a situation where you give you're giving somebody something they can just take advantage of like that and not really appreciate it, because some of the things that I've been given, I can tell the difference. Like you can put different appreciations in some of the stuff that you're you're given or somehow you wind up with, opposed to things that you work for. So I have no idea why people and even Mexicans from Mexico or people from anywhere, if they want to come here, why they can't come here and be a legal citizen if they one learn English and two be an indentured help to people have to do a good job, face penalties or whatever happened to them to get their own land or get their own place. But the, these people want to pander to something evil, and all they're doing is more than likely getting us all killed. That's more than likely what they're gonna do. They're gonna take our kindness for us being weak. Uh, you know, it's sad, but it's kind of true. So I don't know who else, um, unless you're a different kind of individual, and obviously they're not screening all of those people. So they got for sure terrorists that are going to infiltrate all these places still, and it's a way to get letting these refugees in, to letting them also, from what I know, from what I heard, they it gives them more capabilities to bring weapons. They can bring guns and all kinds of stuff they can smuggle in that way. So thank a Democrat for all of that. And um, I'm not trying to necessarily offend all Muslims, maybe like American Muslims or whatever. I really don't care, really, because like I said, I've heard it all from my religion. And I can sympathize if I wanted to, from the way that I felt about hearing different um, people talk shitty shit about my religion or whatever I think. So it is petty, I guess, but I'm not trying to be petty like that. And we don't necessarily want to be um, assholes here either, but other people, common sense, understand that it's not time to be caught like the Democrats would be with their pants off or down. Let the enemy come in and catch them like that, and then smoke their ass and just shoot them dead or blow them up or whatever the enemy wants to do. Because obviously, the Democrats do not think that there is a war going on. Ask that to ISIS or any of those other pieces of garbage out there. Is there not a religious war going on? Are you at war with America and Israel and other places around the world that won't bend to your radical fascism? So idiotic. It's just idiotic. So stupid and disappointed. I am just beside myself on how ironically ignorant people are in this country. And again, I mean, obviously, I don't mean everybody, but obviously a lot of people. We need to go back to school and whatever else to just get more enlightened and intelligent. There's still hope. Is there hope for them?